if I saw another day, all we do is scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Well done, guys. Old Man G here, back again. I'm joined by Roy from the amazing RossanariTV. Roy, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you back on the channel, man.
Hey, good to see you, my man. So good to be here. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate being here. I haven't talked to you in a while, so this is going to be very exciting. Can't wait for it, my man.
No, I'm looking for it as well, bro. Guys, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X. Make sure you obviously head over to RossanariTV. Subscribe to them. Awesome AC Milan fan channel. A lot of good brothers over there, so show them some love and support as well.
Thanks, bro.
Roy,
yes,
let's get straight into it. I mean, this is obviously our mid-season review for Serie A, and I guess the first thing I want to go dive into is just your thoughts on Milan so far this season. We've got the table there, but I mean, you know. Better, worse. Let's start first with, I guess, let's start first with the league.
Okay.
Because clearly, looking at this table here, Milan are in a title race, and you know, if I remember from when we did the prediction show, I don't remember you were that confident that Milan were going to be in a title race this season. If I remember,
I didn't put them as favorites.
Yeah. How are you feeling now?
Okay, so as far as Milan, in general, the way I saw the team develop, the way I saw the team grow, the exponential growth has been there. So right now, Milan is definitely a candidate to win the Serie A. They could win the Serie A if they keep on doing the right things, if they keep on winning. Of course, Inter needs to lose some points, etc., etc. Right now, AC Milan has a pretty okay calendar, to be honest with you, because they have Spezia coming up, which is a fresh, on paper, it's an easy game, and that doesn't mean anything, right? But then we have Juventus and Inter right now in a period in which Milan is looking really good. Right now, Milan's form is sky high. We have a lot of our players are back, even though we do have some injuries and we have some players missing from AFCON, but the team is looking really good right now, and they're kicking ass. So if we can get through Inter and Juventus that is coming up, then we have February, March, and April. All games that on paper are pretty good for us. So we have a good opportunity to accumulate a lot of points in these 3 months. And then May is going to be the final rush. We got all tough games in May. So May, those last 4 games are going to be difficult. But if we can accumulate a good amount of points in these 3 months, we have a good opportunity to win. But to be honest with you, based on where the club is, the club needs to reach Champions League football. They need to get top 4 this year. They need to get top 4 next year, and this is the process. As far as Scudetto, there is a possibility, yeah, but we are not the favorites. But there is a possibility.
Okay, fair enough. Now, at the beginning, and later in the show, we'll obviously review our predictions. But I think that there was a general consensus that Inter certainly weren't the favorites, and now they're on top of the table. So, do you say Milan aren't the favorites? Are you saying that Inter Milan are the favorites, Roy?
Yeah, look, one of the things I was completely wrong about this summer, and we touched on this earlier, when Inter lost Conte, Lukaku, Hakimi, and Eriksen, four huge pieces of their puzzle, there was this feeling that they're going to regress and they're going to have to kind of rebuild, kind of. But instead, what happened is that they got even stronger. The team is playing better than last year. The unit has actually grown. They're playing good football. Dzeko has come in and has taken that role beautifully. Actually, he makes the team play better than Lukaku because he's more of a playmaker. Dumfries has come in and he's taken over. I mean, okay, Hakimi maybe is the biggest difference there. They didn't really replace a Hakimi, but it's not like I guess they don't really need one. Dumfries is doing a really good job. Then Çalhanoğlu, who came from Milan, the playmaker from Milan, he replaced Eriksen. He's doing a very good job there. So Inter is kicking some serious butt right now, and I think it's going to be very difficult to stop them. They have grown. They did not regress. They definitely gone forward, and difficult. It's going to be difficult. Look at their form right there: 5 wins in a row, and they keep on winning. They keep on getting points.
No, I agree. And it's interesting because obviously you mentioned Inter's progress under Conte in the 2 seasons that he was there. He never qualified for the next round of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And yet, in theory, Inter Milan were in I don't want to say they were in a tougher group than they were previously. But they certainly weren't in an easy group with Shakhtar again, Madrid again, and Sheriff again, who did their stuff.
Right.
And yet they were able to qualify as opposed to Conte. So is that I guess what I'm saying is, how good is Antonio Conte really? Because he got a lot of praise for winning Serie A. But if Inzaghi wins Serie A with a far weaker squad, does that reflect badly on Conte, do you think?
Good question, my man. Very good question. Difficult to say because Conte is obviously way more, his pedigree is way superior than Inzaghi's, like by miles. I don't know if it's just the case that right now the team has reached a level of maturity that now they have more confidence in the Champions League. They know how to deal with the pressure, so they can play, and you have players that just won the Euro in there also. You have players that, they've definitely grown. So I don't know if it's Conte or it's just the team in general that has just gotten better, more experience, and they've been able to deal with the pressures. If I were to choose one between Conte and Inzaghi, I would choose Conte all day, every day, to be honest with you. Yeah. Hey, G, sorry, I can't hear you, my man.
I accidentally muted myself. Sorry about that.
Very good, very good.
So fair. And obviously, we talked about Serie A. Now, we know that obviously Milan were in a tough group in the Champions League with Atletico Madrid. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I really did want AC Milan to go through.
I know you came on the chat, you came and supported. I remember that.
Athletic, there was that first game in particular when Milan were literally, and they got down to 10 men against Atletico, and then they somehow it was painful. But what were your overall thoughts on the brief Champions League campaign by Atletico?
By Milan? Yeah. Okay, so look, it was our first time in the Champions League in 7 years. A lot of these players, it was their first time playing the Champions League. Our first game against Liverpool, 90% of the squad had never played a Champions League game before. So I guess there was that excuse. To be honest with you, as far as the Champions League goes, we were very unlucky because not only we were inexperienced, but AC Milan right now has this issue with injuries. We're just cursed with injuries. Okay, so we did the Liverpool game. Honestly, there was a little bit of positivity, even if we lost that game. I think it was 3-2 at Anfield. But we were excited to see AC Milan. They went there. They played proudly. Then against Atletico Madrid, the second game, we started off really good, and unfortunately, Kessie got that red card, and then. In my opinion, Pioli made some mistakes in the second half, and he just gave the game away. So, inexperience, Champions League inexperience, and also playing 10 against Atletico Madrid. But then Porto came along. By the time Porto came along, we had so many injuries. We had lost Mike Magnan, the goalkeeper, who's been absolutely instrumental. We literally had 50% of the squad. So Porto, we just couldn't get Porto. We couldn't get the job done with Porto. Then Liverpool, again, too strong for AC Milan. We beat Atletico Madrid. So we were unlucky, and it's okay. It's okay. You live. What is it? You live to fight another day, right?
Live to fight another day. That's it.
Yeah. So it's okay. We've learned from this, and they're going to grow. Next year, we need to make top 4 and get back in there and try and go as far as we can. It's a progress, step by step.
No, fair enough. And like I said, I generally wanted Milan to really kick off in the Champions League, and you're right. At the time, they were plagued with a lot of injuries, and you combine it with like a few bad refereeing decisions. But the positive is that, being out of Europe completely, because I think the worst thing for Milan would have been had they gone into the Europa League.
Yeah.
Yes. Because then you're thinking Thursday night football, now having to kind of balance that with Serie A, whereas now you could just solely focus on Serie A. And as you said, if AC Milan can get through Inter and Juve, even if they don't lose those games, you could potentially see them with a much nicer schedule than Juventus and Inter that still have a Champions League football.
Right now, that's a big advantage. 100%. 100%. Milan needs to come in top 4. If honestly, like, I know some Milan fans get upset at me, but if Milan finish this league 4th, I'm celebrating like we won the Champions League.
No,
that pisses a lot of people off.
Yes. No, but I mean, the thing is, you have to know where your club ranks, and successive Champions League qualification for a club that has been out of the Champions League for so long, and on top of that, the players that Milan can now start to begin to attract to the club, that's what we're talking about building, because
correct.
We were even having a conversation about Eric Bay and whether that's going to happen as a defender. We might even speak about that previous, because I don't think that's necessarily gone. But the players that Milan will be able to attract when they get Champions League football will be far more than if they didn't, and that is the building process that Milan needs.
Absolutely.
Go on.
No, you said it perfectly. You gotta be aware of where your club is at the current moment, right? You gotta, you can't be too, you can't be like we need to win. No, right now AC Milan is building. We're building. The club is building. We're still in the initial stages of this growth. It's happening. It's working for the first time in 7 years. It's working. So I'm patient. I'm going to be patient with it. And yeah, you're absolutely right. You make that Champions League spot. You get more players that are more interesting players. The players that you already have are going to be more interested to stay, and they're going to get more and more experience.
Luca Life says Napoli will win it. I think that was Napoli were obviously ahead for quite some time in the season. I think a lot of people said that they were going to run away with it, but they, much like AC Milan, got played with injuries and kind of slipped up a bit.
Yeah.
Usha Clara says Alexis Sanchez, Martial.
I don't know about that. That's your territory. I'm not familiar with Martial.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Chainsaw is our member of the channel. Really appreciate it, Chainsaw, buddy. Videos are coming soon. I've not forgotten. But big up Chainsaw, loyal supporter and member of this channel. Really appreciate it. And he's a Liverpool fan, so that makes it even better, to be honest, bro. So it shows that rivals support each other. So thank you so much, brother.
We have a Manchester United fan that joins us every live. So yeah, it's cool.
Whatever happened to the but like me and you guys want to send super chats to you guys. And
right.
Fans. What happened, bro? Have you fixed it out yet, or what?
I got to figure that stuff out. I got to get Ari. You met Ari, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So I got to get him. He's been so busy that he's just not haven't had much time. So I got to get to him and got set that up. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You got to do it, man, because it seems that United fans are like, we want to support you guys, and Milan fans like, it's.
Are Milan fans good to you?
Yeah, no. Milan fans
okay.
Milan fans are good to me, bro.
All right.
Niall Kane says, "Big up, thanks for having me on the channel, mate. I was on May's night. Shout out to you, Niall, as well. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it." So before we move on to other teams, I think the last thing I'll talk about regarding Milan for you wasn't is how do you think that the signings that you brought in, obviously brought in Drew, Tomori, and there was one more.
Yeah, no, very few.
Sorry.
Yeah, very few names from the summer. You mean from the summer?
From the summer, yeah.
No, look, very few names that I'm. I mean, look, I'm always super optimistic. You know, like any new signing comes, I'm always like, yes, this is going to be the next Ballon d'Or. You know, kind of hyperbolic. But to be honest with you, with the limitations that the club has financially, the signings were absolutely brilliant. So we lost Donnarumma, but we got Mike Maignan. Mike Maignan is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this goalkeeper is amazing, and he's doing such a great job. I did not expect him to be so good. Then we got Florenzi. Florenzi was on loan. He's on loan. Florenzi, international Champions League experience and a lot of experience. He's finally got into gear and he's playing great football. Then we have Bakayoko on loan. 2 years. We'll see what happens with that. He's stepping up right now, so he's doing really well. Tomori has been an absolute beast. I don't know how you guys still don't put him in the national team, man. That's something you got to tell me.
I mean, there are two things. One, I don't understand how Chelsea could let him go, especially now that Rudiger and Christensen look like they're leaving. But you're right. I'm looking at the England team, and you're thinking, I don't know how Gareth Southgate can justify putting Harry. No. Okay. In defense to Harry Maguire did have a good Euros. He actually had a pretty good championship. You know, their defense. I think England only conceded
one goal.
Two goals.
2
goals, I think. Yeah, 1 goal against
both set pieces. Denmark free kick in Italy
and Italy, and that was in the semi-final and the final. You know, so like to be fair, he had a decent European championship.
Absolutely.
But for Manchester United, he's just been garbage. You know, and then so if you're an England coach, you've got to think: do I go based on how he's performed for me internationally, or do I go based on how he's performed in club football? Right. I don't know how he'll do it. So.
No, look, I'm saying this not in disrespect to the current defenders. I'm just surprised that he's not even part of the rotation. Like he comes in, he's out. It's almost like they're experimenting on him. Guys, Tomori in Italy is maybe the best defender right now. And you know how in Italy they love their defenders.
Indeed.
So, England has a little gem there, huh? Anyway, yeah. So Tomori, excellent signing. Tonali, excellent. Giroud is doing good. You know, he's doing good. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. The fans love him. Pellegrini, not so great. Pellegrini was one of the signings that wasn't so great. Overall, for where we are as a club, the team is operating really well. So I'm very happy with how the club is going.
Appreciate it. Shane says, I want AC Milan to win the leagues of history, but don't think it will happen. You never know, bro. You never know. I don't think it's over. And headsets of RDS have a great stream. Look forward to the week ahead. Thank you, Brother Chief. Appreciate it, Chainsaw, for you stopping by. Really do. And shout out to you again, brother. So let's just moving on just quickly to, I guess, the other surprise thing in the season was Allegri and Juventus.
Oh, man.
I think a lot of people did think that Allegri was going to pop off, and I think some people thought Juventus were going to even win Liga 1 because the reason why Juventus was so bad was because of Pirlo, and you know Pirlo was not a good manager, and blah blah blah. Yeah. Now you know you see Juventus obviously fifth. You know they have played an extra game compared to everybody else. However. They are a point behind Atalanta, so they could still. It's not bad, and I still think that Juventus will qualify for the Champions League. But are you surprised about how Juventus have been this season under Allegri?
Yes, 100%. Look, when Allegri came to Juve, I thought that he was going to create a solid squad and whatnot. The thing is, he's been out of football for 2 years, right? In these 2 years, football in Italy has changed. Like in football in Italy now, it's like you got to play. You got to play football. You got to be courageous. You got to pass the ball. You got to keep the ball. You got to play football. There's no two ways about it. Allegri with Juventus, man, he literally is using his strikers as midfielders. The whole team. You saw what happened against Chelsea, right? The whole team played in the box. This is Juventus playing against smaller teams in Italy. There's no courage. There's no art to the way he's playing. It's awful. It's basically the most disgusting football that I've seen in many, many years. And this is why they're struggling so much. Allegri was a terrible choice. He's making so much money. I don't understand this operation. Juventus right now is completely failing everything they need to be doing. And not only that, Juventus is the team with the highest wages, even double more than the second one. So yeah, complete failure for Juventus right now.
Fine. Do you think that obviously Juventus they managed to act well? Surprisingly, maybe one could add they managed to top their Champions League group because Chelsea bottled it against Zenit, if I recall.
Yeah.
And they're playing against who did Juventus draw again? Juventus are playing
Villarreal.
That's it.
Yeah.
So the irony is that I would probably say Juventus are still favourites for that. I don't think Villarreal, when United played them, were anything to be fearful of. Right. So you could see Juventus going to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you think that? I guess what I'm saying, trying to get is that do you think that where do you see Juventus? How do you see Juventus' season finishing? Do you think they'll make top 4? Do you think that they will push into the Champions League? Like what do you think?
I think they should be able to beat Villarreal because you're right. It's not like they're playing against one of the big European teams. And, you saw them against Manchester United. I mean, honestly, Manchester United probably should have won that game. And we'll talk about that later. But Villarreal is still a tough team to beat. The thing about it is this, that Juventus doesn't play much better than Villarreal.
No,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, in theory, they should go through, and it should be good for them. Sooner or later, something needs to click. So, we'll see what happens. But listen, if Juventus does not qualify for the quarterfinals, I'm not going to be surprised. Yeah.
It's interesting because I almost think the winner of that, those two, whoever gets drawn against them, is pretty much a bye into the semi-finals. I think. Neither one of Juventus or Villarreal are particularly strong, and so I think if they get drawn against any of the remainder of the teams, because you know that that City are gonna go through against Sports. That's pretty much done. Liverpool against Inter is. I still think Liverpool are probably favourites, but I don't think it's going to be easy. But Liverpool will probably over 2 legs overcome Inter Milan.
You know what? Laird thinks Inter is going to beat Liverpool.
Oh, right. Okay, that's interesting.
Now, I don't believe that.
Okay.
It's interesting that he feels that. I think Liverpool is a much superior team than Inter. But I do agree with you. It's going to be difficult. And I do agree with you. Like Man City, Bayern, PSG, even Manchester United, all these teams are way more advanced than Juventus and Inter.
No, I agree. Moving on to another person who I think is you probably say struggling. Is he finished? In fact, Jose
Mourinho.
It's been an interesting. What do you have to say about Jose, man?
About Jose?
He is obviously Roma have crashed out of the Conference League.
Oh, they have?
They have crashed out, haven't they?
I'm
sure they did. Or did they qualify?
I think they qualified, but I'm not sure.
If I remember, they.
That's how much I care about the Conference.
About the Conference League, exactly. It just. Where was I'm fairly sure for those who are watching, did Roma crash out of the Conference
That'd
League?
be quite a failure if he did that.
Fairly sure they did. Oh no. Oh no. I'm wrong.
I think they went through, right?
I think yes. Sorry, I'm wrong.
I
They actually
think they won the group.
They did do it's just that I still just remember their loss to I think it was Bodø Glimt, and I think I just assumed that they were awful, but no, they went through. So,
Yeah.
so fair play to Jose for that.
Right.
Do you think that that more was expected of Jose this season?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, not really. Jose Mourinho was very clear when he came to Italy, and he said that this is a 3-year project. Don't expect anything this year. This year is just the beginning of a building phase. We're not going to be fighting for the Scudetto. We're not going to, we're going to try and fight for the top 4. But Europe is going to be, the objective. But his goal was, what are we going to do in 3 years? In the third year of his reign, that's when he said you can expect Roma to be an important club. So right now he's doing exactly what he said he wanted to do. Roma is on path. I like Roma. I like what Jose Mourinho. He's the most important manager in Italy, 100%. And Jose Mourinho is a guy that will achieve what he wants to achieve because he knows how to do. He knows how to get things done. He's patient. He's told the Roma fans to be patient. So I think he's doing what he said he was going to do so far.
Fair enough. Christian Pazimos, shout out to you in the channel, brother. Eric to Milan. Well, actually, let's do a side detail. Yeah, I mean, I think I said in your chat when I saw the news break, I was like, "Oh my goodness, man, this is not happening." It's gone a bit quiet on that front, but I don't necessarily think it's over. So, do I think that's going to happen? I'd say I'm 50-50. But what I wanted to say, when I was in the chat, was that for me, Eric is probably one of United's best defenders, if not our best defender.
Really? Wow.
And if you were to play Bay and Tomori together, that's possibly a title. That's a title-winning or trophy-winning centre-back partnership.
Okay.
The pace that both of them have, Bay's ability in the air, his speed, his reading of the game as well is actually quite good. The main thing with Bay really is just that he does pick up injuries, although he hasn't been injured since December 2020, if I recall. It's about a year. And so far in AFCON, he's in Ivory Coast, he's not picked up anything. So if Milan were to get this guy, so I think that you're now thinking of, a very, very good centre-back pairing, a base going forward for Milan, not only for obviously the rest of this season, but maybe potentially next season going into Champions League and so on.
Okay, so look, the whole Bailey thing is quite interesting. So there are a few names that we know that for sure Maldini and co have been after because they've said it. We've heard them actually say it, and those have been Botman and Bremen. Those are the two names. But one thing that was interesting is that the Bailey news came out really strong in Italy, saying that Bailey said yes, Bailey has accepted the contract. It's pretty much a done deal, all this stuff. And interestingly enough, Maldini, a few days later, before the Coppa Italia game, had an interview, and he didn't say what in particular. He said that some newspapers are just making stuff up. Like, they're literally making things up. Like, they're making names up. They're making scenarios up. We're not going to say it's not true. We're not going to say this. We're just going to do our things under the shadows. So, honestly, I have a feeling that the Bailey thing was not true, was made up.
It's a bit strange because the only reason I took note was obviously Damazio, who is a reputable Italian journalist, tweeted about it, and I was thinking, right now, I personally think that Fabrizio is clear, but I don't remember Fabrizio really drawing attention to it as such. Well, I remember him posting, I think, a few hours later saying that like it wasn't agreed, but that there was some sort of conversations that were happening. So, but yeah, I only really said, okay, what's going on? Because Di Marzio was really so. Did Di Marzio drop the gun, or like what
Well,
was?
Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy was going with this aggressively, right?
Mm,
If you would have went to their website,
mm,
when it came to the Milan section, it was Bailey Milan. This is going to happen. Bailey says yes. It was very aggressive.
mm,
So and maybe Di Marzio hinted at it, but then the newspapers took it to a whole different level. So
mm,
I don't know if when Maldini said we're making stuff up, he was referring to that. But if I'm trying to connect the dots, that's the one that was the most aggressive, and I never heard him say we're interested in Bailey.
mm.
So that's why I'm thinking that the Bailey thing maybe was a little bit of a made up thing. And also, I mean, if you're saying he's Manchester United's best defender, why would Manchester United want to get rid of him?
That's true. That's why I was in the initial news. I was like, this doesn't make sense. But at the same time, Eric Bailly has been wanting more game time at Manchester United. So that was where I said to myself, well, this does make a bit of sense because he has had to, he's been unhappy that he hasn't had enough game time for Manchester United. And the club seem to want to prefer to go with Varane and Maguire or Varane and Lindelof or what have you. And so in order for him to get some game time, going to a place like Milan, maybe for a loan, would make sense,
Got you. So in Manchester United, who are the two defenders that are getting the most time? Varane and Maguire, you're saying?
So it was Varane and Maguire, yeah. Varane got injured for a while, so we had to go back. We went back to Varane. So we went back to Maguire and Lindelof for some time.
Oh, Lindelof.
Even though Bay was there, and that was terrible. Then Maguire's also been out injured a bit. Possibly, I think he's probably been dropped now because he was on the bench against Aston Villa. So I think he's been dropped for Lindelof and Thingy. Now the question is that when Eric Bailly comes back from African Cup of Nations, will Eric Bailly partner? To me, the best centre-back pairing is Varane and Eric Bailly. Whether or not that's going to be the case, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. Look, where I stand with this whole Bailly thing right now, I'm skeptical about it. I guess only time will tell. We'll see what happens with that.
Just obviously, just moving on as we try and get through Serie A. Napoli. Now they started off very strong, and I think in our predictions, we'll go in a second with that they were going to have a good season. Are you surprised by how they've dropped off a bit, or did you never think that Napoli were really in it in the race?
I guess I was more surprised how well they started. It is a pattern that is recurring, though. Napoli last year was plagued with injuries, and they did not perform greatly when they had those injuries. Napoli so far has had a quite healthy squad, and they started losing bits and pieces just about a month ago. Important pieces too. Osimhen fractured face or something like that, and then right now Anguissa, Koulibaly, and Osimhen. I think Osimhen also they're all in the AFCON, and then they started losing some bits and pieces, and they started dropping points. So one thing that I am happy about is that Milan haven't lost all their bits and pieces. They did not lose points in Serie A. So there is this difference between Milan and Napoli right now, but Milan can still win games with a lot of pieces missing, but Napoli seems to struggle when they have some of their more important pieces missing. As a matter of fact, if you look at that table, you can clearly see in the WDL section, Napoli has lost 4 games now, Milan 3, and Inter only 1. So that tells you where these teams really are, But yeah,
Juventus,
Napoli could do well. Huh?
I was just saying, geez, Juventus have lost 5 games,
Yeah.
So that's really bad for them. Getting into the news that it says that Christian says that So it says that draw with Inter today. Yes, Inter Milan drew with Atalanta today.
Yeah, 0-0.
And AC Milan are playing tomorrow, if I recall, and are playing Spezia.
Spezia, yeah.
Spezia, sorry. So if
on paper, in theory,
in theory, if AC Milan win that game, does that mean that AC Milan go top?
I believe Inter has one game less because there was a game that was canceled due to COVID against Bologna. So Inter does have a game less. I think I don't know if this is updated or not. I believe it is.
I think I'll refresh it again because usually they're quite quick with. Yeah, I think this must be the updated one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Refresh it again. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like if Milan wins, they go top, right? For the time being, but Inter still has a game that they have to catch up.
Christian says, "Would you let as you mean Kessie, not Jesse, this summer?"
Is he talking about Kessie? Is there a Manchester United called Jesse? Is it Lingard? Maybe. Is it Jesse Lingard?
It doesn't. Yeah, but Jesse Lingard was probably going to go anyway because his contract expires at the end of. If you're saying Jesse Lingard, he's gone anyway because he's. He said. Christian says yes. You mean Kessie? So yeah, it must be Kessie then.
Okay. Would I let go of Kessie this summer? I think Kessie is already gone. To be honest with you, no, I wouldn't. I think actually, if I were to be a good Samaritan, I would say, man, you get Kessie. What are you waiting for? Because this guy is special, and Man U needs a general there in the middle, from what I think. So he could definitely fill that role, and I think Manchester United is his favorite team from childhood.
Yep. No, I would. I don't think anyone would mind Kessie in the midfield, considering that we have McTominay and Fred there right now. I would definitely be all up in arms. And I mean, to be honest, a lot of ex-United players seem to have balled. Dallo went there and did well. Dallo did well. Sanchez obviously into Lukaku did well. Like a lot of ex-United players that we let go seem to actually perform in Serie A. So Lingard is obviously going to be available. He's still quick and still fast. If you want to come to get Jesse Lingard,
I'm not interested in Lingard, to be honest.
What about Edison Cavani?
Oh yeah, I'll love to have Edison Cavani. I'm AC Milan. AC Milan does have a little bit of old strikers, Ibra and Giroud, but Cavani is still great. No, there are great players at Manchester United that I would love to see at AC Milan, but Lingard is actually not one of them, to be honest with you. I don't know. He hasn't given me. I feel like Lingard is a little bit of he's kind of arrogant, kind of like thinks about himself a lot. Is that? Am I reading that well or not?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that I think Lingard is a system player. I think so. If it's almost like Lukaku in a way, like if you get him into a system, he can play really well. So at West Ham, for example, in that system, he was very good. But in the way that United play, not so good. And I think that in Serie A, I can see a player like Lingard doing well just purely because Lingard is not the type of player who can really break teams down. But he still has a lot of pace at his age, and he has a lot of his finishing is actually quite good. But more importantly, he's very good defensively. So he tends to sort of come back and track back and cover for your flanks. So one of the reasons why United have struggled recently is that some of our fullbacks like Sancho and Greenwood, they don't really come back as defensively as he does. So they don't. So it's one thing to have a player that goes and gives assists and tackles. That's important, and that isn't necessarily Lingard's strength. But if you want to keep a tight game, you want someone like Lingard because he's got enough pace to come back and track and defend, but also he can obviously he can come and tire the opposing team out.
Yeah, look, in that Manchester United is playing the 4-2-3-1, correct? We're still playing 4-2-3-1. Yeah, so those wingers need to come back and cover that space that we're leaving open in the sides of those double pivots. So yeah, for sure. So Sancho and Greenwood don't cover space. Huh? They just attack.
I mean,
pretty much.
Sancho more so, but Greenwood is in my opinion, is very bad at covering space. Goes forward, but it's pretty bad at doing that. Sancho Santos, Red Devil Rossonari, we may have Drew, but the second star is.
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst thing. The worst thing about this is that the Inter fans know that they're the favorites. You guys are the favorite. You guys are going to win the Scudetto. You guys are going to win it, and you're going to get that second star. And then us Milan fans have to hear from them forever because winning that second star is going to be something that is going to be there forever. So for the next 10 years, we're going to hear Inter fans telling us that they won that second star before us. I wanted to win the Scudetto this year just so they wouldn't win that second star before us.
Well, I mean, Inter Milan will always have their Champions Leagues, and that's the key thing. You can never take away a European trophy either, so you've got to bear that in mind as well. He's got to bear that in mind as well. Oh, you mean Jesse Lingard? Oh, sorry, you did mean Jesse Lingard. Yeah, he's gone in the summer. United put a contract there. He's not going to sign it. He's going to go as a free agent. So any club that's really up to signing the guy, he's there. And you can make an argument that maybe he might want to go abroad, go to a Serie A or a Liga or try something different, or maybe stay in the Premier League. Sanchez, I think AC Milan should prioritize on keeping Theo and Leo. Kessie would be a miss if he goes, but Theo and Leo potential is crazy. Thoughts?
Yeah, he's right. He's 100% right. I mean, Kessie is gone. I don't think he's renewing anymore. It's late.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. But keep speaking. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'll keep on answering. Yeah, I think Kessie is gone, so there's no point even talking about him. But if he does stay, that would be great. But you're 100% correct about Theo and Leao. Their potential is immense. Theo is right now has exploded, and he's been playing like a boss. They gave him the captain's armband because of some injuries, and also Leao. In the last few games, Leao had something like 4 assists and a goal, some crazy numbers like that. So you're 100% right. AC Milan should prioritize keeping these youngsters. And this is what Milan needs to do. Milan needs to get to a point in their progression where they can keep all their superstars and turn them into champions. Yeah. I was just answering. Yeah.
Thanks, mate. Lucas says, big up.
Big up.
Ably played at left back. It's true.
He was good, man. I missed him. Is he doing well? Manchester.
He's doing okay. I mean, he's pretty much displaced Wan-Bissaka now as the main attacking fullback.
Wow. And Wan-Bissaka was a guy that you were saying was very important for the squad.
Defensively, yeah, but attacking wise, he's just, and Ragnick wants a player that can really go and attack, really, and Dallo has done that, So Sanderson says, I want to ask Rossanarity, regardless if AC Milan wins Scudetto or not, do you think Pioli should stay, or is it time for Milan to get a different manager?
No, look, Paolo Maldini has been very clear. He said the goal of AC Milan is to make the Champions League for the next 10 years. So as long as Pioli can make that Champions League top 4, he's going to stay. Now, right now, the team is still young. So it's still a young team. The growth progress of the team is still in the early stages. Let's say we are 2 years from now, Milan has made the Champions League, Pioli is still in. At that point, Milan will have automatically a team that is capable of winning the Serie A because in those 2 years, they built a team to perform in the Champions League. If you're building a team to perform in the Champions League, you're automatically a contender for the Serie A. If he starts to fail that, then maybe we'll see. But right now, Milan doesn't have that kind of level where you can say if Pioli doesn't win it out, Pioli needs to get the top 4 spot right now. And I think he can. He's doing a great job.
That's fair. Handanovic man the match for Inter today. Fair enough. Christian says Algeria national team lost from their 35 winning streak, and now they are bottom of the group stage with 1 point. We might bet Beneco sooner. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a surprise considering a lot of people, myself included, thought Algeria were actually favourites to win the AFCON. And now they're bottom of the group, losing, I think, today to, I think it was Equatorial Guinea.
Wow.
But you know, Manchester City are going to be happy that Mahrez comes back. I think a lot of people will be happy if some of their players end up coming back. I assume this is a positive thing for Milan. You think?
You know what? You know why I was saying yes?
Mm.
It actually had nothing to do with Milan. It was Italy, because Italy has a record of 36 games, I think.
Oh yes, okay, yes, you're right.
Or 36 or 37. I think it's, or is it 35? Or anyway, somewhere around there. And I think Algeria was going to beat Italy's record if they
won. Right. and you lose your winning records.
Right.
That's
honestly, as far as Benacer goes, yeah, look, okay, it's good that he comes back earlier, but you know, I feel I don't want him to lose games. I wish him the best. I want him to win the tournament, you know. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I was saying yes. Oh, 38 games, Sanjay.
38 games. Fair enough.
We gotta watch out for Morocco, because Morocco now is the next one with a coming up, sneaking up with the record.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. Last team I think would be good to look at was Lazio. So did talk about Lazio briefly in our predictions. Then I'm going to get our predictions video up for those who are watching in the chat to see what we said. But Lazio, Lazio, from what I've seen, because I've not watched them a lot, but Lazio's defense has been, from what I've seen, has been a bit dodgy. By dodgy, I mean they've conceded 39 goals. I think looking at the top 7, they've conceded, I think, aside from Empoli and Spezia and Allegri, Lazio have probably conceded the most compared to everybody else. I mean, what are your thoughts on Lazio? They play good football, but defensively, they just seem to be, from the matches I've seen, they just seem to not be good at all.
Numbers don't lie. I mean, those are almost 40 goals. I mean, look at the Inter, 16. That's double the amount of goals, more than double the amount. You know what? Lazio has not really connected with Sarri. The team did not renew properly. I guess it also shows the good job that Inzaghi was doing. It's hard to understand what's going on with Lazio, because they pretty much have a very similar team from last year. So you'd have to say Sarri is kind of messing things up, maybe. Defensively, obviously they're not doing good at all. I think also the owner and the ownership, it's a very controversial ownership, Lotito, and they need to spend more money. They need to renew the squad. The squad is obviously burnt. The cycle is over. They have these players there that need to go, and they need to get new guys, new fresh guys with new ambitions, I think. Luis Alberto is on the market. He's a good attacking midfielder, so he's good. Luis Felipe is also on the market. So they're getting rid of a few players. Well, let's see what happens. But yeah, Lazio is surprised. I thought we were going to do much better. Yeah.
Fair enough. It will be good just before we look back at our predictions. So just briefly, just kind of talk about the Champions League and how you felt that in general. And I'll just get the screen up. Let me see 1 second. How come I can't find? I'm just looking for a Champions League. I'll just use this instead. That works. 2 seconds, buddy.
Acerbi also is broke with the team. So a lot of players are like breaking with the team. It's very strange what's going on there.
I I don't know. I don't know for Lazio, to be honest. I mean, I presumably that you don't think they're gonna get top 4
No,
or European football at all.
no way. With all those goals conceded, no way.
Yeah, no. And because I don't know. Okay, before we move on to what do you think the solution is? There a solution? Should they sack
For Lazio?
for Lazio? Yeah.
Yeah, no. The solution is they need to sell players and just rebuild. Just accept the fact that this cycle is over and rebuild fresh with fresh players. And if you want to play, I think Sanjar here hinted at it. Sarri has his way of playing football. You need to get players that are adapted to his way of playing football. Yeah, that's how I feel.
And it just seems that every club Sarri goes to, it's the same thing. Chelsea get his way of football. They didn't. Going back to Juventus, same thing. It just seems to be a cycle here.
Right.
Champions League.
Champions League. I want to also talk. I want to after this. I want to ask you a few questions about Manchester United.
That's fair. That's fair, right? So obviously, if we're looking at obviously the leagues, the Serie A contingent are Juventus and Inter. No, Milan and Napoli have gone to the Europa League. The 4 English teams have made it. 1 Dutch team, 1 German team, which I think was a surprise to a lot of people. Bayern Munich. All the other German teams got knocked out. 1 Portuguese. Wait a minute. Is it 1 port?
Yeah, Benfica, right?
Oh yes, it's Benfica.
Sporting was eliminated. Not Sporting. Porto was got to UEFA Cup.
Yeah. Wait, Europa I thought Sporting didn't qualify then, did they? No, they didn't. So who was City playing?
Oh yeah. Sporting is 1 of them, maybe.
6, 8, 10. Oh, I see what I've done. There's another 4 left on this screen. That's why my maths is bad. There's actually 16. Let me get a better. Sorry, Roy. Let me find an actual. I can see all 16 teams. 1 second, everybody. Sorry about this.
You know what? The Europa League games are going to be crazy. Napoli's playing against Barcelona. Atalanta is playing against Porto, I believe. This is going to be some insane games from Italian clubs in the Europa League.
I think the way that they're doing it with this playoff situation with Napoli and it's because technically it's a playoff. It's not actually that they're in the Europa League. It's a playoff of the Europa League. So I think that's going to be interesting. This is better. Sorry about that for everyone who's watching.
Oh no.
I should quickly get into some comments actually before I go. Before we actually go into what do you think of Maguire at Del Studios? I personally want him out to rebuild the defense and get yourself a leader. I don't disagree with that at all. Do you think Ronaldo would leave this summer if Manchester United doesn't get into the Champions League? I'll ask Roy that actually. As someone who's seen Ronaldo, obviously Juventus and what happened there, do you think Ronaldo was the type of player that if they don't get Champions League, he'll bounce, he'll leave?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel that with Juventus, Allegri was the problem. No player with any sort of intelligence would want to play for. No attacker would want to play for Allegri. I honestly, it's hard to tell. If they make the Champions League, he'll stay, of course. If he doesn't make the Champions League, I don't think so. I honestly think he'll leave. I think he'll leave if he doesn't make the Champions League. Ronaldo is a liability right now, I think. I mean, I want to ask you about it because you see Manchester United, but I saw that there were reports of Cavani and these other guys saying in the locker room that he's kind of in the way. He's in the way of the project and all this stuff. So I have some questions for you too about Manchester United and Ronaldo.
We will get to it. We will get to it because United are in a bit of a mess right now. Are semi-injured Radu and Felipe available? The others are basically liabilities. You have to rely. Is that Isaiah? Sorry, at right back. While Lazio is a wing back, so not best for Sarri's tactics, and that's fair. Also, spot on. The ownership is absolute trash as well. Having to deal with
Salernitana.
Salernitana being owned by Lazio's owner made it even harder for Lazio to buy players. That's fair. And obviously then the rest of the comments about the Champions League. So yeah, Ajax. So yeah, it's actually two Portuguese teams, Sporting and Benfica. So Sporting going to be playing City. There is only one German team, which is Bayern. You have 4 Spanish teams, I think, in Villarreal, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. Actually, I say 4. I think 3 Spanish teams. Sorry,
3. Yeah, Barcelona
because Barcelona no longer there. RP Salzburg, and then 2 French teams because Lyon managed to qualify and pitch as well. So I guess what I'm saying is that how do you feel if you put it? Obviously, AC Milan didn't qualify, but do you think that Serie A or Serie A teams kind of overachieved in the Champions League so far?
Oh no. Serie A teams have been underachieving for decades.
Mm-hmm.
They have underachieved by far. Yeah, I don't see any Serie A teams winning the Champions League. Honestly, but looking at this chart, you could argue that England has the best chance statistically to win the league because they have 4 top-level teams. Bayern is a top-level team; they can win it. PSG is a top-level team; they can win it, and maybe Ajax. But Real Madrid, so Real Madrid versus PSG, that's going to be interesting.
Yes.
The winner of that game is going to get a huge boost of confidence. Yeah, I don't see any of Italian teams surpassing the next round.
I think I asked just because and Sandra actually is thinking what I'm thinking is that last season all 4 German clubs made it through. Now you only have 1, and yet here, I think last season, if I recall, I think Juventus got through, but obviously they got knocked out to Porto. I can't remember if there were any other. Inter Milan didn't make it through.
No.
Atalanta. I think Atalanta did make it through, didn't they?
Yeah. It was pretty poor. The last season's Champions League for Italian clubs was pretty poor.
Do you think? Where do you see Juventus and Inter? How far do you see Juventus and Inter going? Do you think they're going to both? So you think that? Go on.
I think Juventus has a good opportunity to go to the next round. And then if they're going to face one of the bigger teams, I don't see Juventus playing that kind of football. I don't see them winning against anybody, especially because all these other teams, Bayern, PSG, Man City, Liverpool, Manchester United also, even though they're going through a tough period right now, obviously play football. They play football. They get the ball, they bring it up top, and they freaking play football. Juventus is scared to play football. So forget Juve. Inter, if they beat Liverpool, who knows? Maybe they can shoot for the moon and probably miss it. But if they beat Liverpool, who knows?
Fair. Christian Promo says, who will win? Okay, ask the question. Who will win Liverpool, Inter? I feel like Inter can surprise them. Roy?
Yeah, honestly, my opinion is Liverpool is a much better team. But there is, I guess, a sense from some people like Laert and other people that feel that Inter might have a chance. I'm not seeing that, but only time will tell, guys. The games are coming up soon. If I would put money on it, if I would put all the money, all the possessions that I own on it, I would say Liverpool.
I mean, you've got to think that probably Liverpool are going to have Salah and Mane back as well. For that, they're all going to be back. They're going to be fit. It's going to be definitely going to be interesting. I mean, before we move on from who do you think now, based on what you've seen, who would you say are the favorites to win the Champions League?
If I would pick one, I'd say Bayern. Bayern is the club that I feel is the healthiest and the most. Let's say advanced. Then I would say Man City after them, and then PSG after them. And then after PSG, I would probably put Real Madrid. I'd put Chelsea in there too. I think Manchester United can be a dark horse because Manchester United has a great squad. They just it's just a weird period for them. So we'll talk about that in a second. So it's those 4 clubs: Bayern, Liverpool too, Man City, PSG, Madrid. It's one of those. If I were to pick one, I'd say Bayern.
Sanjo says last season Atalanta and Lazio made it. Oh, you're right. Okay, but Juventus and Lazio had easy groups. Juve faced Barca and Lazio faced Dortmund in groups. This season, Juve top Chelsea. Yeah, you're right. So okay, so then that must have been 3 then. So Juventus and Lazio and Atalanta, and then Juve got through. So
yeah, Lazio got bullied by Bayern. It was the most embarrassing thing. Dude.
Yeah, that was a bit. Juventus got knocked out by Porto, and then that didn't end well. Big up Serie A is going to be intense after Inter and Atalanta drew 0-0. Says Michael. Shout out to Michael Talks Football. Head over to shout and subscribe to him, guys, if you are watching. As a Liverpool fan, I'm worried about Inter. They are a good side, and that 5 in the back formation can frustrate Liverpool, and that is true. We have seen a few times this season at Liverpool, if teams are very defensively solid, I mean, I think they played 10 men against Arsenal recently, and then 10 men against Chelsea, and they weren't able to score and break them down. So if Inter Milan can be defensively solid, I think I agree.
Yeah, it's to be seen. I honestly haven't seen Inter become this European threat just yet. I think they're on their way to do that. I don't know if it's going to be this season. I was wrong about Inter in the Serie A this season. Most of us were. So maybe we're all wrong about Inter right now, and they'll pull a surprise and they'll beat Liverpool. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Right. You obviously we want to talk about and I'll just get the screen up. I should really pre-make these before, but just bear with me, Roy. Actually, let's get a better one. We're going to be talking about Manchester United, specifically, we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about Manchester United. We're going to be talking about Cristiano Ronaldo as well, and what his impact has been at the club. I'll just share this again. Let's go. Manchester United. Manchester United, my club, suffering right now. Roy, fire away.
Well, look from afar, it does not look good. It looks like for the kind of money this club has been spending, they should be way above where they are, just in general. But they're still a top European club, regardless. It feels like some sort of banter era kind of thing going on with Manchester United from afar. I don't know, man. I feel like they need to do something. They need to get people in that club that work a little bit more, more seriously. Like buying Manchester United. Sorry, buying Ronaldo because they didn't want him to go to Man City. I don't see it's more like about pride rather than strategy.
Yes.
Even though Ronaldo did, he's always great. From afar, it looks like a project that is a little bit of in disarray, and if they're not careful, they're not going to make the Champions League. And if they don't make the Champions League, it's going to be a huge failure. So from afar, it's not looking good. But you are there. You see it every day. You live it every day to day. You tell me, man. I want to know because I'm curious.
Well, what questions specifically do you have about United?
Well, what is going on with Ronaldo? Do you feel his impact is positive? Do you agree that what these players had said, Cavani and these other players saying that he's kind of in the way and he's kind of making things more difficult? So let's start with Ronaldo. How do you see Ronaldo being there?
So, obviously a lot of United fans are very happy to see Ronaldo come back from nostalgia reasons. I would agree that I don't necessarily think it was the right move at the time, because I think that Manchester United should have prioritized a midfielder. That's who we needed, a midfielder, because our midfield was garbage. And I was very surprised that we didn't get a midfielder. So that for me, I think was, and you're right, it did seem very much like, Ronaldo just suddenly became available. Oh, great! He now has to come. He now has to come back. Because he's left Juventus, and I think that took a lot of people by surprise. I think that even took Ole Gunnar Solskjaer by surprise as well when he was there. And you ask yourself, if Ronaldo hadn't come, would Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because it's clear that with Ronaldo in the team, we did play differently. A lot of things being fed towards Ronaldo and so on. What I would say though is that as much as I love Cavani, for example, he picks up a lot of injuries, and he was out for quite a lot of the beginning of the season. He was away in South America, and he was injured. So, and Rashford was out as well. Martial was injured. So, aside from Greenwood, at the beginning of the season, for the first maybe month and a bit, there were no other forwards available aside from Ronaldo. So it's one thing to say Ronaldo's disrupted things, but then you have to at least make yourself available as a player. And if you're not available as a player, then you can't really speak. So Ronaldo helped Manchester United early on in the season to pick up their points. And in the Champions League, to be honest, Ronaldo was the guy who saved Manchester United's Champions League campaign, So he
against
scored
Atalanta, it was incredible.
Atalanta, Villarreal, both home and away against Atalanta, and then Villarreal. Those 3 games where he scored last-minute goals, which basically changed into, I think, Villarreal, he scored the last-minute goal in the 95th minute to make it 2-1. Atalanta, again at United, he scored. We were 2-0 down. We win 3-2 because Ronaldo scores again. And then in Atalanta, we get the draw because Ronaldo scores a fantastic goal from outside the box. So do I think that he is disruptive? I think that it's certainly any player of Ronaldo's status is going to obviously bring change. But I also think that it kind of exposes some of the United players who maybe were very comfortable with how things were under the club. And then as soon as they sort of get challenged or someone wants to push them, they sort of get frustrated, or they don't know how to deal with it, so that's my two cents of it so far.
Now when Ronaldo went to Juventus, basically Juventus played the system of football which is feed Ronaldo will solve the game for you. And then when he left Juventus, we saw that Juve without Ronaldo was it's just a disaster. Now, is that happening with Manchester United, that it's becoming Ronaldo independent? Do you feel that is happening right now, today? Not in the beginning of the season, like you mentioned, but today, do you still see that?
That we're Ronaldo dependent? No, I don't think Ronaldo dependent, because I think that we can score goals without Ronaldo, and we have the players in the team to do that. When he is there, I do see that there is a feed to Ronaldo type thing, although I think certain players don't do that. And I think one of Ronaldo's frustrations is that the likes of Rashford and Greenwood don't. In fairness to Ronaldo, what I would say about Ronaldo is that he's fair to say that I think that that some of the young players, especially Ronaldo and Greenwood, don't pass to him, and when they should pass. And I've seen so many opportunities when I've seen them play where you're like, why didn't Rashford pass to Ronaldo? Why didn't Greenwood pass to Ronaldo when Ronaldo was in a good position?
I've seen the reports come out about that.
So it's difficult, but I don't think that it's an excuse really, because when I've seen the goals that United have conceded and the chance that United have created, yes, Ronaldo, there were games where Ronaldo should really be scoring those goals and putting them through. But we've been defending really badly. We haven't really controlled any midfield, which isn't Ronaldo's fault. And the forwards have decision-making has not been good, So it's the whole team. And I think Ronaldo is an easy scapegoat.
Do you mind showing me the table? I'm curious to see the table.
Yes,
the EPL table.
I will.
So do you see a light at the end of his tunnel, or what are you seeing?
So far, no, because I'm still yet to be convinced by the way that this team plays. Um, the I think that I think some of this is also because the players also Ragnick is an interim manager, and I think there is an idea that, well, if he's an interim manager, why do we have to learn these things when he's just basically going to be away in the summer? So I think there's that element as well, which is a problem. Here's the
Oh
table.
my god.
United are seventh, but they do have 2 games in hand.
Okay.
Compared to so we had some cancellation. Tottenham have, I think, 4 games in hand. However,
Wow. Damn.
Whenever they play them, we don't know. So in theory, if they win their games in hand, they'd actually be above West Ham. So top 4 is still on, but United are struggling to play well and win games, and I think it's an issue.
Yeah, if I look at the goals against and compare it to the top 3, there's a big difference. Very big difference. But I do see a 4th spot possibly. Yeah.
I mean, aside from West Ham, who probably conceded more, I don't see. I mean, 30 goals to West Ham, 29 for Manchester United, and you have to kind of scroll down. Okay, Leicester 33, and then mid-table. So goal-wise, they've been. I mean, Burnley have conceded less goals. They're bottom of the table, and they've conceded less goals than United have. So it's difficult. It really is. And
32 goals for, right? 32 goals for.
Yep.
Damn, look at fucking sorry. Look at Man City and Liverpool. 55, 54 goals. Oh my god.
41 only conceded 13 goals. These are the teams that not only dominating the Premier League, and there's a question that a lot of people tell me that we were talking about where we're saying that Manchester United is the Premier League becoming now a one horse or 2-horse league, and it's not competitive anymore, because at least in Serie A looks like it's a bit more competitive now. Whereas the Premier League, it seems that Manchester City, maybe Liverpool, but certainly Manchester City are dominant. I mean, I don't know, as an outsider, as it were, do you see that the Premier League is basically a lot less competitive now, not the best league in the world type of thing because of that?
That's a good question. As an outsider, the way I see it, I see Man City dominating a league with really good teams, So maybe you can say that, but I'm more impressed that Man City is dominating a league that has Liverpool, that has Chelsea, that has Manchester United, that has Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham. All these teams here are potentially very good. Yeah, the work Man City is doing is obviously fantastic. Great. Guardiola is killing it. But that's how I see it from the outside. I'm impressed with, not so much that the EPL is not exciting or because the race is over. It's more like, damn, I can't believe Man City is dominating a league where you have a bunch of teams that could win leagues in other countries, no problem. Like top leagues in other countries, no problem. So EPL, there's a reason why EPL has 4 teams in the Champions League, and the EPL has been doing an incredible job with their teams, and the whole infrastructure is fantastic.
Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. Right. I thought we'd wrap up because we've been streaming for Infinite, but with just showing. Now, see if I can get this this video from last time. Let me just. There we go. Is that loading? Okay. Yes, it is. Okay.
There it is. I'm wearing the same shirt.
You are actually.
Oh, am I? No, that's the Adidas shirt. Never mind.
Ooh, I press play that. 1 second. I'll press pause a second. Right. So the first thing I want to say is that I think this is the end of coming to the end. So if you actually look at maybe Max, I think you can see that if you look at it, I think because we had a discussion about this, I think we overall came to sort of a conclusion, and our top 4 in no particular order was Atalanta, Milan, Juventus, and Roma, with Inter Milan, Lazio, and Napoli in the Europa League spots. You know,
maybe it's not a good idea you show this.
I'm gonna. In fact, let me play. I'm gonna play a. Let's let me go back. It's more. Laptop's a bit slow, so I apologize. I'll just put a brief clip.
Damn, Lart looks young. He aged in like the space of a few months.
That Milan stress. That Milan
stress, man. He aged.
That Milan stress. That Liverpool aged him, man. The Liverpool aged him.
He was at the stadium too for both games. Yeah, so that's why.
All right, let me play for me. Let's see what we were saying here, because this is the top 5. Okay, let's have a look.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was an Inter will go down not because they don't have good players, because they lost their main players. And I also don't particularly rate their manager. I think Mourinho's better. So I think
goodness.
I think I guess I'm just curious to see how he'll do. But I think
Mourinho's way better, for sure.
And I think working in an in quote defense, like Serie A is in quote more defensive than the Premier League, and I think you're more rewarded for that way more. So I think that will suit Jose, because that's just his style of football. And obviously, Tammy Abraham has just been signed. Hopefully, we'll give him more goals.
Yeah.
It's just because if I'm honest, it's because of Jose. If I'm honest,
Antonio was right. How is
Joseph said a very smart thing. He said a very smart thing. You know, he's so smart. They asked him in his press conference, so when do you expect to bring titles to Roma? He said, look, we're not planning to win titles this season. This is a building season. The next season is a confirmation season.
Yeah.
Then the third season is when we're looking for titles. So he's not putting any pressure on his players. So that might give Roma a little bit more serenity and tranquility to do well.
No.
But honestly, I don't think we're going to make the top.
Oh, yes,
actually,
yes.
Wait, Roy.
Yes.
I see Roma fourth. Right.
I see AC Milan third.
Atalanta second.
Chill.
Wait, Lion. Wait, what is Lions? What was
So that might give Roma a little bit.
What does Lion say?
Yeah, I see Roma fourth. I see AC Milan third. Atalanta second.
Chill.
So that was like.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. When I saw Roma fourth there, I never thought Roma was going to make top 4. So I'm okay. Now I remember.
So you're right, Roy. So actually, Roy's right. So I think it was myself and like we came to agreement that Roma were going to become Mourinho, but actually, Roy, you were right. You didn't think they were going to make top 4.
No.
What did we say? I'll just bring it again, just forward. One just about the. I think it was this point when we're talking about the winner.
How did we get Inter 5th?
I don't know. I don't know how we. It must have been
my
lies, man. It must have been. Let me.
It must have been. He's not here, so he can't defend himself.
He can't defend himself. So, but how did we? I'm looking at this, and how did we get Inter Milan to be? Let me just go forward about this. Looking at some of the comments, I think more of the comments were actually more. Right. So I go back here. Let's go. I'm trying from here.
So you guys get Inter there. No problem.
All right. Okay, and then I agree with what were the other two we said? Did we say Lazio?
Yeah, and Napoli.
And
Oh, go
Napoli.
back a little bit. Go back a little
Yeah.
bit. I guess.
Wow. So we have left with the last four.
Okay, go back a bit.
We'll have that conversation another time.
Yeah, we'll have that conversation when it comes to it. You know, so but yeah, I just maybe 6 is harsh. Fifth place then.
So I go back a bit more.
We were saying 6 for
You
Inter.
saying 6 for Inter?
That they're waiting for a bid, but
Yeah,
that's
true.
true.
He might leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel he's gonna go because I see Inter going for Thuram. So
Inter.
Oh yeah,
Inter has,
go on.
Inter has $700 million debt. 700 million.
That's why they wanted the Super League, but we're not going to bring that up again. A lot of things in England stuff that they're waiting for a bid, but
Yeah,
that's true. Anyway,
he might leave. Yeah.
The bid.
yeah.
I feel he's gonna go because I see Inter going for Thuram.
Oh, sorry. I must
Keep that on the down low until it rises its head once again. So
We'll have that conversation another time.
yeah, we'll have that conversation when it comes to it, you know. So, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe 6 is harsh. Fifth place there.
Sorry.
I think.
Okay, well it's 2v1, so you guys get Inter there.
Okay. Was you guys? I remember it. I remember
Yeah,
saying
and I
Inter
agree with
third.
the.
That's what
I
I
agree
Yes,
with,
that's the saying. I think you said into a third. I think you
Yeah.
say
let me
Lazio.
see if I go back.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
No,
Honestly.
I remember.
Yeah.
I can
I
tell
think
you right now.
Spalletti-
What happened.
Calling you out,
doesn't-
guys. He's calling you out for making this. I'm assuming he's referring to Fiorentina not being in the top 7.
No, Lucas is he's got a lot of hot takes, so don't mind
Listen, we
him.
have to deal with Lucas every stream. You're lucky. You have to deal with it. Just
Are you still?
Well,
Are you still dealing with Lucas? Are you still dealing with Lucas, Roy? Is he still an issue?
You know what? He's been absent. Lucas, things got really heated with Lucas at a certain point, so he took a break. He took a short break.
Oh,
so.
right. I see. Well, to be honest,
No,
you should
but-
show him. You should show him this prediction video about that. Like, I think we can all laugh at this prediction video. So, but
Yeah.
I think your takes are pretty good, actually. I think.
Well,
your takes are
listen,
pretty good.
I remember what I had. For me, the top 4 was going to be Atalanta first, Milan second, Inter third, Juve fourth. Now, if I were to redo this today, I would put Inter first, of course, because Inter is shown to be the best team. And honestly, 2, 3, and 4, it's up for grabs. Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'll quickly look into some of the comments. I think they're talking about the Liverpool thing. Red Devil Studio. So Red Devil just tell everyone that you have to rebuild everything. That's with reference to Manchester United. Shout out to Eddie's Football Waffle Man, and so go subscribe to his channel as well. Appreciate you stopping by, mate. Defense, you need a solid hardcore CB, a special CM that control tempo, and a strong CF who goes all in like Milivojevic. Well, that's actually, I mean, Milivojevic seems to be the new in thing now. Almost the hype around him is almost surpassing Haaland. I mean, what are your thoughts on Milivojevic and balling there? Is he one to look at?
Everybody loves this guy. His numbers are crazy good. He's a youngster out of nowhere. He might be in contention with these next up and coming big strikers. He could be one of them. He could be in the league with. I don't know if he's in the league with Haaland and all these guys. We got to see them in the Champions League. We got to see them in those kind of stages. You know, Haaland scores in the Champions League like nothing. You know, Mbappe won already a World Cup and is just a beast of a player. So I think he needs to prove himself on the bigger stage to be in that kind of considered that kind of level. But in Italy, he's breaking records that not many players in Italy have done at this young age. So there is voice of him going to Man City. That's a strong voice. Arsenal is after him. So the Premier League could be a destination for him. He's a big guy, strong, powerful. So it could work well for the league, actually, for the Premier League.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think from what I read, I think Arsenal, are one of the teams that are looking in for him, which would be a good buy for him because I think Aubameyang is fallen out with Arsenal Football Club right now.
Yeah, it'd be a good upgrade for it. Yeah.
At first, I didn't like Fred at all, but he shows character and wine spirit I would want. But I only see him going all out to recover ball and defend in the midfield. And last, what happened to Rashford? He seems lost and doesn't care. I don't know what's happened to Marcus Rashford, to be honest. I think maybe he's struggling with the occurrence of an injury, or maybe he feels bad for Ollie going. I don't know. He seems lost, and I think he needs a bit of a break. That's what I think. Prem hasn't been a competitive league in a while in terms of title race, and most leagues have very competitive top four races as well, but other leagues don't market it because it's a loser's race. Roy?
I mean, what does it mean? It's a loser's race. What does that mean?
As in the idea that like top four it should be about trophies, and top four is like a loser's race. Like it's not really a trophy, really.
Is he referring to the Premier League?
I'm assuming he's referring to the Premier League, but I guess the point is that other leagues don't market. Don't have top four races. So the Premier League markets a top four race, where Serie A, La Liga, Liga, and Bundesliga, they don't market top four races.
I don't know. Honestly, as I said, when I think of EPL, I don't. My mind quickly goes to, oh my God, I can't believe Man City is dominating a league with teams that could literally win the Champions League. Teams that are probably have a good chance of winning the Champions League. So I'm honestly, when I see the EPL, I'm not looking at in this not a competitive league. I'm looking at an extremely competitive league with a team that is just killing it at levels that who knows what they could achieve. Maybe they can open a cycle similar to what Barcelona did a few years ago. Who knows?
Christian says, Roy, are you streaming later?
Maybe tonight, maybe later tonight, maybe.
I'm going to be rounding off this stream soon, so Roy can get a good break in if he's going to stream later. So
yeah, but later, it'll be for Christian. He's in the East Coast, so it'll be in the AMs, early AMs frame, maybe. But tomorrow for sure, morning Milan Daily.
Brick moment, big up RDS. Thank you very much, and the brother on the panel. Thank you, Tia Jacobs. Score predictions. For Milan tomorrow?
I hate score predictions. Milan, on paper, we're playing at the San Siro. The team is healthy. The team is looking very professional. Growth from some of the youngsters. From some of the youngsters. So I'm thinking Milan should win this game, but knock on wood. Let's say Milan 15, Spezia 0. How about that?
Of course.
And
obviously if they win it, Milan, back to the top of the table.
Look, it's a great opportunity for them. They must be looking at the table. They must be looking at that inter-draw right now and thinking, damn, this is a good opportunity to really get close to them. I hope they go in the field wanting to win and playing a very professional game.
My fingers are going to be crossed for Milan as well, man. Although Tio Jacobs says you jinxed it, brother. Don't be surprised if you lose.
Last time we played against Spezia, it was not last time, but we played against Spezia this season already. But last year when we played against Spezia, we played in their home. We had our best team on the pitch, our number one team. We could not touch the ball. It was like we were playing against Real Madrid. They beat us 2-0. It was a disaster. But
Same again?
Huh?
Same again this year? You don't think it's going to happen this season?
I don't think so. Not right now. I think the team is very healthy right now. I think the team really believes they can fight for the Scudetto this year. Really believes it. Yeah.
I've been asked to ask you about Lord. Is that Krunic? Are we supposed to buy him?
Krunic is the Serbian player of the year, Ballon d'Or player of the year. He's a rotational player in Milan, a utility player, someone that you can put in the midfield, attacking midfield, on the wings. He's a player that a lot of Milan fans take their frustration when they have bad days at work. They take all their frustrations out on
We have enough players in that at Manchester United right now. I can assure you, buddy. We have too many that we can count. So, Roy, just as we round up, just final thoughts on what you expect from Milan. Because obviously this is midway season review. Like, what you expect from Milan for the rest of the season. What are your hopes and what are your expectations? That's probably the best way to frame the question.
Okay, so the objective is top 4 right now, and so as long as they keep that top 4 spot, objective completed, I'm very happy. Because as we spoke earlier, I'm very aware where the club is at this current moment in its growth. Now, there is a possibility. There's a real possibility that we can win the Scudetto. For example, just what happened today opens up that possibility that we can get really close to that. So right now, Milan has 2 big games coming up, Juventus and Inter. But after that, we got a few months, 3 months of games that on paper we should win. We need to accumulate a lot of points in February, in March, and in April. And then we need to get to May having a good cushion to secure top 4. But in May, we have 4 big games. If we can win those games in May, who knows, guys? Maybe Inter won't be celebrating that second star. So they believe that they can. But honestly, the best thing is to really hope that we make the top 4 this year and then keep on building for the Champions League. And then next year, maybe we can really start talking about Scudetto.
Fair enough, Roy. Fair enough. And that. I mean, Milan is basically my second. Thanks to you guys, and just obviously history. Milan is basically my second team. I'm. And they're red. Come on, of course.
We're both the Devils.
This is the thing, So I always back Milan, and I really, really hope they're doing the Scudetto this season. If only because Inter Milan look like they're getting a bit too big for their boots, and no one likes Juventus. But yeah, I hope they'd win it, and I'll be there. And I just want to thank Roy for coming on the channel, man. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Let me ask you one more question. What about you with Manchester United? What are you expecting?
Roy, we wanted to end off positively. we wanted to end the stream positively. That's why I was like, let's just
okay. All right. You know what? Let's do this. Well, you come to our channel, and we're going to have this conversation about Manchester United on our channel.
Yes. Okay. That's probably better. We want to end. We want to be positive ending this because oh man, it's not looking good for Manchester United right now. Thanks you guys. For everyone watching as well. By the way, Theo Jacob says, keep Reddit artists, keep the quality content, brother. Thank you so much, buddy. And Christian says, like the video. I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. For those who obviously are new, please subscribe to my channel. Head over to RossanariTV and subscribe to his if you're not subscribed already. We'll hopefully be covering more. We'll probably come back to do a Serie A review, season review at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And probably by then I'll maybe try and cut up these. In fact, I'll try and cut up this video and actually play sound bites of what we predicted at the beginning of the season. But Roy, do you have any final thoughts before we bounce?
Thank you, G, man. Love your channel. Love what you do, man. I love talking to you. You're great. It's a pleasure to be on your platform, man. Guys, everybody, if watching this video, subscribe to Red Devil Studios. G, you're the boss, dude. I want you to come to our channel and we'll talk. We'll do the same thing and we'll reverse it. So thank you so much for having me today. It's a real pleasure, bro.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers.